Sexy September is back on Film Seizure. This year, the guys are looking at the 4 movies that make up the seductively sensual Poison Ivy series. This week, we meet Ivy's sister Violet as she seeks revenge against her mother's old upper-class employers and begins a brand new seduction. Sit back, pour yourself a glass of Chardonnay, and get ready for the guys to talk about Poison Ivy, the new seduction.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Film Seizure. I'm Jason Oliver.
I am Jeff Arbuckle.
And today we have week 3 of Sexy September
2019
with Poison Ivy 3, the new seduction.
Technically no 3.
Right, there's no 3, but it's the third one.
Right.
Poison Ivy, the new seduction, the third film in the Poison Ivy saga.
Yes, this came 1 year after My Lovely Lily.
Yes, last week we were regaled with Jeff's love of Poison Ivy Lily, the second film in the Poison Ivy saga.
Well, again, it's the Alyssa Milano shaded sunglasses.
Yes,
which is fine. I admit it, because oddly enough, I think you got bitten by the love bug in this movie.
I did. So, had you seen this one before?
Oh, if I had, it'd been like 20 plus years ago.
I don't think I'd seen this one. Pretty actually positive I hadn't seen this one. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. I think this one is the most fun of the 3.
Yeah, and
thus far.
I think there are plenty of reasons why we can feel that way. And I'll even admit that there are things that this movie does better than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, you know what? Maybe it took a guy director to do it.
Oh, shit.
No, because I think...
Oh, shit, boy. Yikes. I'm not going to go that far.
Hashtag men's rights activist.
Well, full disclosure, too, this was another female writer.
Yeah, but...
I think that's the best script.
Yeah, it probably is. What I feel is I think this movie doesn't take itself as serious.
That is very true.
So you had mentioned that you thought the identity of this movie was much clearer.
Yes. This movie is pure exploitation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. And that's what I was getting.
And everybody is comfortable with that. Everybody is playing their part. And
they're playing it well. There's a few people in this that are just crushing their parts.
Yes. Yes. There's at least 2 characters who absolutely crush it in this movie. With full fucking abandon, and it's well appreciated.
It's playful.
Yeah. That's what it is. This movie is playful. It's fun. It's aware of what it's trying to do, so it knows how to do it. It's the most manipulative in some ways of a very manipulating franchise.
There are a couple of things that happen in the third act of this movie where we were mouth agape staring at each other like, what did we just see?
Yep. Yeah, and it plays against a little bit of convention as well. This one is fun. It's just a fun movie.
It's but at the same time, there are moments of absolute sheer like horror.
It's kind of it is more of on the erotic thriller angle. It's more of a horror thriller in that sense than the other two.
Than the psychological thriller type of
I mean,
stuff.
there is it plays out sort of like a slasher film. I think it could have gone a few steps further and been even more fun, to be quite honest. If she had taken out more of the snobby college kids.
Oh my God.
This could be a goddamn cult classic.
Right? Oh yeah, because like this movie really, really grabs you by your boner and leads you around, and like I said to you 10 minutes to the end, it's like I'm kind of okay if Jaime Pressly just wins this movie.
Just wins, yeah. It's absolutely. I mean, there's as far as
she's bad. I mean, she's
a bad person.
She is worse than the other.
She does
than Ivy.
She does bad things to some annoying people, but nobody deserves what they get in this movie.
No.
Like,
Whoa, no
it's
way.
way overboard. Yeah.
Right. And she just
She is
does
psychotic.
but she does it with a smirk that
Uh-huh.
is so funny.
Her performance, it truly is. She just gets it.
Yeah.
She somehow just sunk into this role, and everything that she was asked to convey, she gave a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can tell why she gets a lot of work over the last 22 years.
She is a very she acts well with her face. She's very expressive.
That's what we were talking about last week,
Yeah.
right? We were talking about how the first two were established actresses and know how to do what they're doing. Particularly, I think Drew Barrymore was very good at playing off of somebody.
Yeah.
Whoever it was in that scene, she played off of them very well. Alyssa Milano plays very well with her face and with her facial expressions, making it a little bit more real. Jaime Pressly is kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, she is. I was going to say, Alyssa Milano is good with sort of the micro expression.
Yeah.
She can convey a lot with very little, but Jaime Pressly is perfect at giving you that big emotion or that big feeling you're supposed to feel, where a lot of times that's done with a musical cue. She does it with her face.
Right.
And it's
There
uncanny sometimes
Yeah.
how effective it is.
There were a couple of times where she widened her eyes just a little bit, or she smirked at just the right moment.
Just enough evil eyebrow.
Oh my
like,
God!
Holy crap!
There is one scene that is just chilling when
Yep.
she looks back
Uh-huh.
oh my God! But it probably is because she's a model.
Yeah, that's probably That's a good point. She's used to striking a pose like that.
Yeah.
Taking direction like that. And they use it. I mean, she uses it, and the director uses it to perfection in this movie. It's something to behold, and honestly, it kind of explains why she's such a good comedic actor too.
Yeah.
Because I'm specifically thinking about My Name Is Earl, because she does a lot of expressive comedy in that.
Yeah.
It's always about like her variations of angry or stern or crazy or perturbed or frustrated, like in that show, you know.
Right.
She's very good at like just a range of emotion.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's a talent, man. That's hard to do.
This movie. Okay, so this movie has one thing in it that I said 2 weeks ago. We're going to talk about again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We have to talk about this because it's silly as hell.
Retcon.
Yeah.
There's a retcon in this movie, which honestly
it works for this movie really well.
It works fine.
It didn't have to happen.
Well, the retcon only serves a purpose to just because the name is in the title.
Right.
So, in the first part, remember I said that it's really Sylvie, Sarah Gilbert, who names Ivy Ivy.
Yes.
We never know what her actual name is. Now, maybe it was Ivy. Doubtful. Maybe it was Cross. Maybe it was Nose Ring. I don't know what it was. But but it's probably Beth. We'll just say it's
say it's Beth.
Okay. But she became Ivy. And at that moment, Drew Barrymore embodied
Ivy.
In the second movie, there is Ivy's journal or whatever. So I guess technically the retcon began in part 2. Although at that point, you could say that's a whole nother universe at that point.
Well, yeah, and you could also say that that she wrote all that shit and put her name on that shit as Ivy when she decided to become Ivy.
Maybe. I don't know. Perhaps. But, okay, so...
But the third movie
begins in 1985. And there's an affluent couple and their daughter, who's like 10 or 12 years old or whatever, at this home where a pool boy, and a maid are doing their thing, right? And the maid has 2 little girls, Violet and her older sister, Ivy.
Yep.
So now it is established that Drew Barrymore's character is Ivy, unless this is a whole nother tangent.
Yeah, different
And
Ivy
maybe it
altogether.
could be. Maybe it could be.
I mean, they're obviously trying to play on the fact that this is Ivy's sister.
Yes.
But they're counting on the fact that you don't remember that Ivy was a given name by her friend and not her actual name.
Right. They're counting on you not being experts as we are.
Well,
now.
they're counting on the fact that you have seen the movie boxes for Poison Ivy 1 and 2 and understand that they're sexy movies. And that when you see, a Poison Ivy 3 with Jaime Pressly, who just appeared
been
in Playboy,
Yeah.
I know what this movie is, and I'm
renting
going
it.
to rent it.
Here's my $3.15 cash money.
Exactly.
Rent.
Right.
I may not return it, or I may return it early.
And just so the retcon, they didn't even have to retcon anything, and they
Well-
could have just named it Poison Ivy: The New Seduction, not put Ivy in it at all in any age,
Well,
and
then
it
you
still
would have
and
Violet.
it still would have been fine,
Right.
But the fact that they even tried to sort of tie it in any way is honestly a little commendable.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
You didn't have to do it.
I have another thought.
I don't think the fanboys are going to come out and be like,
Well,
"Well,
I am pretty.
well,
I've
technically."
you see on my wall all of the post-its in the string that ties this whole series together.
Yeah.
We've worked really hard on these episodes.
They're all tied together by boob tassels. Yeah, every point in the map is a boob tassel. So
Right.
it goes from boob tassel to boob
and
tassel.
I've got a switch to flip and it'll spin.
It'll spin. Yeah.
And they're pasties
It goes
instead of post-its.
It's like rubber bands that go
Yeah.
through and they turn. Yeah,
Yep.
it's like gears. Yeah.
I'm very proud of this contraption that we have.
It's pretty inventive.
Yeah, it is pretty
Yeah.
good. So yeah, I bring out the smarts and my lab coats and my thinking caps for Sexy September. Now there's one other thing I thought about, right? This may not be Ivy, although I think they clearly try to say it's Ivy.
Yeah.
From the first one, even though Ivy
Are
is
you
not Ivy.
Are you retconning the retcon?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. The guy. So what ends up happening is the hot mom of the 2 girls.
Jeez.
Hoo-wee.
Buddy.
She decides to fuck the pool boy.
Of all the boob jobs in the world,
That was pretty
she's
good.
got one of the best ones.
She got a pretty good one.
Yep.
So she ends up fucking the pool boy, but gets caught by Mr. Greer, the owner of the house.
Yep.
And then kicks the pool boy out and gets mad at Ivy and Violet's mom, and says basically argue about their relationship as his wife comes in
Yep.
and discovers that all this time they've had this affair over all of these years.
Everybody's getting some except the lady of the house.
Right. And it's this whole time of this prologue, this whole time that Ivy's and Violet's mom worked there, they had this thing,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Well, what's Mr. Greer's first name?
I don't know.
Ivan.
So
it's possible that Ivy is his daughter.
that's true. Yeah, man.
It's possible.
But you should write some fan fiction about that.
Boy, do I
You
have
should write
some
some.
fan
Write
fiction
some
for
some Poison Ivy fan fiction.
It all has to do with Lily, though. I'm sorry. Lily and her meeting this writer
She's a
/
minor
podcaster.
player in the
But she's a
in
major
the
player.
canon.
She's a major player in my heart. I'd treat her well. I wouldn't be like that fucking pretentious art fuck who constantly shit on her. Anyway.
Well, this movie gets back to a lot of the roots of the first movie.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is that 11 years pass.
Those dirty, trusty roots of the first Poison Ivy movie.
Dirty.
Dirty with dirt,
Dirty.
and mud, and
Needs
dirtiness.
cleaning.
Yeah.
Needs cleaning. Needs to take a bath. Anyway, 11 years later, up pulls a cab, and one of the most goddamn sexy women ever of the 90s steps out of the cab
Yeah.
and an all grown up Violet.
Mm-hmm.
So she finds out that, yes, indeed, the Greers still do live there, and she meets with her friend Joy,
Yeah.
who is Ivan's daughter.
Yep.
And apparently Mrs. Greer, whatever her name was, died.
She's dead. Yeah. And you have Mrs. B, the maid. who is-
Mrs. B.
Mrs. B, the old lady maid.
Now, Mrs. B is played by a lady who's been in a bunch of,
She's been in like everything.
just a bunch of stuff, but
She's been
a lot of John Waters.
a lot of
stuff.
John Waters stuff, a lot of schlock, a
She
lot
was
of
in the first two Angel
a lot of
movies,
B
which I wrote
movies,
about.
a lot of exploitation movies. She, I
She
weirdly,
has a very distinctive look and way about her
Yeah.
that is brilliant.
weirdly, I recognized her from a movie, Catch My Soul. It's a musical version of Othello that was made in the 70s with kind of like a hippie commune Jesus freak setting.
I can
and
100
it-
believe.
And it was
I can 100% believe she was part of a commune.
she was Amelia from of Othello, so which means that she was sort of the temptress. Yeah,
Whoa!
yeah. She was.
I would not have counted on her
She
being
worked.
that.
She worked essentially for the devil, who
Okay.
was tempting Othello, and so that Othello, Desdemona, I think that's the name of the character,
Desdemona.
would be stolen from Othello
Yeah.
by Iago. So she was like Iago's lady.
Did they actually have a black Othello?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. For back then,
Yes.
that's very good.
It was kind of played like a little bit blaxploitation too. Yeah.
Love it. I need to
And
see this.
and it's a musical. It's
need to see this.
it's awesome. I'll bring it over. You should watch. But she plays a very villainous character
Okay.
in that, and very striking. I was like, who is this lady? I know I've seen her, and that was what I'd seen her from. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I saw her, and I was like, wait, that looks like Solly from Angel. Sure enough, it is.
Yeah. She
is bonkers in those movies.
she's great in this movie.
Oh, yeah, she is. She is the, not necessarily wisecracking, but wise to the world maid. Like, she knows that there's something kind of off with Violet.
Yeah. 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 She's the foil.
Right.
A lot of ways. Like she's hip to what's happening.
Yeah, she knows
Yeah.
that this pretty young thing is here to fuck shit up.
Yep.
Yep. And nothing good can come of just letting this person live here,
It
which
would've-
is essentially what happens. Very much like the first movie.
Yeah.
She comes in and she's like, well, I'm trying to find a job. I just moved back from Arizona, so on and so forth. And, I just need to find a place to stay. And immediately Joy's like, you can stay here. Ivan's like, yeah, Nixon,
Yeah.
Ixnay. Yeah, and so they talk about it, and he's like, all right, fine. Your mother's room, which apparently they had separate rooms.
Yeah.
That's not the sign of a marriage.
That's not a healthy one.
No.
Yeah.
No, that one's, yeah. Which, I mean, honestly, they didn't have a great one anyway if he's fucking the maid.
Yeah. But it's
Sexy
but
maid.
we find out that Joy's mom was maybe sexually frigid, wasn't really didn't really enjoy sex.
Because Joy doesn't either.
Because Joy doesn't either. She has never had an orgasm.
At least not with the boyfriend that she had, and then not even sure that she's ever had it.
That she's ever had
And
one.
boy, we were really hoping this was going to take a turn.
Right. This is one of those places where this movie could have improved, and it would have been if
It would have
Jaime
been
Pressly had given Joy her first joy.
And if we could have watched it.
Yeah, that would have.
She does blow Joy's boyfriend.
She sure does,
And
fuck him big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of different ways.
Yep. And we see a shining moment, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
so I mean, basically, this is just a revenge movie. This is revenge exploitation, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
we
it's
talked about exploitation. This is all geared towards revenge to one degree, and to another degree, a weird suicidal pact kind of
It's,
ill-gotten love.
It's definitely more unhinged than the first two.
Oh yeah.
And it is. It's sort of revenge. It's sort of.
It's a weird love story between Jaime Pressly and Joy. So, Violet and Joy have a connection that's different.
Yeah, or at least it's perceived by Violet as different.
Oh no, Joy even says the moment she showed up, it's like she never left here.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, she doesn't ever really shun Violet. She's just busy with trying to win this tennis tournament.
Yeah. But it also has a little bit of the commentary on class that the first one had.
A little bit.
Joy is from an affluent family. Violet's mom worked for Joy's family, right? So there's a separation of class, and which is used to belittle Violet by Joy's friends.
It's more her boyfriend's friends, I think.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong on that because
I think that's right.
He's home from Yale, so I don't know if it's their friends or if it's his friends or if it's her friends.
Yeah, they feel like maybe mutual friends,
but he looks like he's 35 years old,
Yeah.
and some of these people definitely look like they're in their late 20s.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's like, and their black friend is what his name is, I assume, quote unquote, and their black friend.
You're right.
He looked like he was 30.
Yeah.
These people are like going for all the PhDs at Yale.
Yeah.
It's like they're looking to get on some sort of wall, like eating a giant burger. Yeah,
they're going for the record and doctorates. Yep.
But so I don't know whose friends they were, but they're just meant to be prissy, uppity.
Yeah,
fucks.
yeah, exactly. They're all
The blonde-haired
elitist
girl is
and snooty and smug.
the blonde-haired girl is definitely Joy's friend, Jamie. She's definitely Joy's friend because they're going to play tennis.
They hang out together later. Yes. But they're all pretty belittling to Joy. Oh no, sorry, to Violet about her station in life and her. They basically make fun of her for being poor and for going to the community college.
Oh yeah, But she gets and their black friend back on that and kind of
she kind of takes a racial dig at him.
But it's in a way I almost feel like in a way I feel like it's only fair because he's making a broad generalization by saying how hard is it to get in there.
Right.
And then she makes the broad generalization back that, they'll accept anybody as long as your welfare check doesn't bounce.
Right, yeah.
Which is, granted, 20 years later, you probably wouldn't make that joke.
Right.
But
she...
It's a what do they call that? A tit for tat.
Tit for tat, yeah, sure. And now, this is where in the movie, I'm kind of feeling like, ooh, is she going to start picking off
these fucks?
These fucks, right? And that's another direction where I think this movie missed an opportunity. She could have
hunted them down.
She could have hunted them down. She could have killed them in different ways. You could have given this like a more of a slasher exploitation. Like she's really going after these people, right? And she really wants Joy for herself.
Well, because that would have lined up even better with what she said later to Ivan, which is essentially, you threw us out with nothing.
Yeah.
You promised to always take care of us,
right?
And then you threw us out with nothing.
Yeah.
And which she could have said that could have been her feeling towards all rich people at that point.
Right.
That you take what you want and you throw the rest of us out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would have been. It could have been this amazing like classist killer cult film. It really could. I mean, you could. Yeah, and it wouldn't have taken a whole lot of nudges in a few different directions. You got give Joy a first orgasm, and and go on a full-on killing spree of her college friends, and boom! I guarantee you, this movie's a cult classic.
Yeah.
Yep. And it just missed it.
Well,
but it's still really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So like she's like worming her way in. She's getting in there.
She's doing the poison ivy thing.
Like sister.
Yeah. An important thing is she has understands all the intricacies and nuances of Joy's relationship with her boyfriend because she's read all of their correspondence. Or Michael, yeah. She's read all of his letters to her from Connecticut.
Unlike Ivy, who we just are basically told by the script and by the story unfolding that she's manipulative because we see her be manipulative and it work. we actually see Violet doing the homework. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, we're just being told that, you know, Ivy knows how to dig into somebody's skin. Well, here, she knows what Michael's problems are because he had drug problems. She knows what, she hears them. She hears them trying to have sex, but then Joy, like, nah, I'm not feeling it. So she knows that he's sexually frustrated and he's easily manipulated because he's a junkie. Or, well, yeah, he's a junkie.
Well, yeah, we talked about it. It doesn't take much of a push, right, to get a ex-junkie back on the junk, or to get a Alyssa Milano addict back on the Alyssa Milano.
Yep. That's true. All of this is true.
Yep.
Also, when you're sexually frustrated, Jaime Pressly is going to get the job done. It's going to get the job done.
Well, yeah, it did not take much.
No, she was just wearing her dominatrix clothes. That's her job, by the way.
Yeah.
She's a dominatrix in this movie, and that pays off wonderfully.
And she, all she does is go down, and there's nothing else is implied that happens other than what
I'm
happens.
assuming he caked her to the wall.
Right. Yeah, he was going to have a real good time real fast.
Yeah.
And then it cuts, and it
cuts to then, does it cut then to her going swimming the next morning
I
naked,
think
topless,
so.
and the dad watching that?
Yeah.
And the music in this movie
Yeah.
is
There's
shenanigans music. There's scary horror music.
Yeah.
There's this famous piece or something that sounds like a famous piece.
Every time she swims nude, it's the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, or something very similar.
It's kind of like a march
Yeah.
theme,
and it's very similar to that.
Yeah, and I know it's famous. I've heard it before, but I can't place it.
You know what it is? It's the march of the little footmen across the bridge of your penis as you are getting turned on by watching.
It's all the tingles.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the sperm getting ready.
And the sperms.
Yeah.
They're marching to attention, getting ready.
We're ready. Yeah. They all got little helmets on and little bayonets.
They do. They're like, hopefully they don't have bayonets. That would hurt.
Well, they're little itty. They're
I see
egg.
them.
They're
I see
for
them.
ovum.
I see them sort of as little like Evil Knievels, right? Like ready to be shot out of the cannon with capes and helmets on. Yeah. Super Daves, like little Super Daves.
Oh my god!
Stars and stripes and everything.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then of course you have two of them come up together and it's like, hey George, hey Wally, how's it going?
Yeah,
How you
yeah,
doing
they're
today?
shaking hands
Yeah.
like a little water cooler, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Ready to do this again?
Ready to do
Yes,
this?
sir.
Yeah. It's a big day. It's a big day. Today's the day. We're preparing for this.
Oh, that cannon looks pretty ready to go, huh?
Oh shit, man. Yeah.
So these are all things that are going to be in our Poison Ivy 5 script.
Yes. Again, though, the other thing this movie missed was
bringing Lily back
an,
to save the day.
an oxygen tank explosion.
But there was no oxygen tank.
It doesn't matter. That would have
I'm
been.
actually kind of surprised 2 didn't have an explosion.
Yeah.
Like that's how you raise the stakes.
You need to have it. An oxygen tank explosion would have been right on the money. Right on the money.
What if it was like just one thing where it's like, what's that flying across the air? And they like a skeet shooter, and they pull, like rich people skeet shoot, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Sure.
Rich people out
Rich
there.
people
Do
do
you
skeet
skeet shoot? Anyway, so like, but it's the oxygen tank.
Yeah. Just blowing them out of the air. Oh.
And then they do 3 to catch up.
I wonder if you could do. You know what? You could maybe make this movie without having to reshoot it, but by shooting new scenes to cut into this movie, I bet we could do all the things that it needs to do, except the most important one, honestly, which is giving Joy her first orgasm. We can't do that one any justice with body doubles, but we could do all the kills.
Oh, we could probably make something work with
I
body
bet we
doubles.
could do all the kills with body doubles to some degree, and definitely the oxygen
Definitely the
tank
oxygen
explosion.
tank, yeah.
I wonder if there's any existing stems and dailies of this movie that weren't used that you could draw from. I want the super
I
cut.
have a feeling
I want the Film Seizure cut of this movie.
I want a supercut of all of Jaime Pressly's facial expressions.
Absolutely, man.
Because her face is working hard
Yeah.
in this movie.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if there's not a GIF of when she turns like the goddamn Terminator, like the
Oh my God.
T-1000,
Her head's
and
down.
her head's down, and her brows are furrowed, and her eyes are just penetratingly mean
Yeah.
and evil at the dad, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I
You
want
said
that GIF.
you fuck me, then you're gonna tell me to leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no.
It is woman scorned in a perfect 5-second GIF.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's good.
I bet. I'll work on that. I'll see if I can.
It's gotta be. It's
gotta
gotta
be out there
Yep.
someplace.
I mean, if
something
worst comes to worst, we can.
I just gotta find the clip.
we can rip down the Blu-ray. But yeah,
I just gotta find the clip. I just gotta find the clip. I can find it.
yep.
Anyway,
It's icy.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it is. It's something I could see. That's something I could see me using on the block.
Uh huh.
There are times
Yeah.
I use stuff like that.
I mean, that's when you can use that for so many things.
huh.
It chilled us both to the bone.
Yeah, it's like whoa. I am both scared and incredibly turned on.
Yes.
I like it.
I like the line. She's like the it's not the pain that turns them on, it's the feeling of somebody else being in control. Yeah, and she knows how to work that.
Yeah, and she tells the guy, it's like, and I'm the one in control.
Yep.
Yeah, and then she kills that dude really, really viciously.
Wait, which one?
That was Michael.
The Michael. Yeah, that's the other problem I have. The kills are all off screen.
Yeah,
for the most part.
But they're
Except for
kills.
Michael. Michael's kill is good. The maid's kill, Mrs. B.
Okay, well, yeah. So okay. All right. So ultimately, Violet is IVing her way into shit, right?
Yeah.
And like she's just fucking with people at this point. The blonde-haired friend, one of the people who is making fun of her for being poor, she gets back real good. Like she's come over to help Joy practice tennis for her big match, and she ends up getting them drunk. And long story short, they get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie passes out on the fucking clay court. She's dead from that,
Yeah,
I think.
right.
But obviously also Joy is passed out, and her father is very much a fascist, as Michael said. It's like,
Right.
I'm not sure he's a fascist. Although I do see a scene with him that I have seen in plenty of Nazi exploitation movies, and we'll get to that too. But anyway, when they bring everybody inside, she fucks with this Jamie friend by handcuffing her, putting her in bed in her underwear with Jaime Pressly in her underwear, and lets her wake up next to her and try to figure out what the fuck is happening. And when she gets up and leaves, Jaime Pressly is like, "Oh, don't go. Joy will be back in just a second," making it look like they had like some sort of weird lesbian threesome.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant.
Yeah.
And she just takes off running out of the house with these handcuffs on.
And it doesn't really serve any purpose other
Just to
than
fuck with them.
just to fuck with them.
Yep.
It's lovely.
Well, she was one of the last people who actually put a dig in on her about being poor. So it's like, wow, she's here. Fuck her. Yeah, and it's great. It's great. That's great. Then of course she's fucking Michael. she's fucking up a date with Ivan and a woman that he likes.
Yeah.
So that she can relieve him by being there for him,
Right.
in the sexiest red dress that you could ever put a 20-year-old Jaime Pressly into.
Oh, yeah.
Whew.
Woo.
Yeah. And then it's Mrs. B who starts figuring everything out. And so she's like, all right, I got to do something about it. And so this actually is a pretty cool scene because, like, one, Mrs. B figures out that Ivan and Violet fucked.
Right.
Or at least has a strong suspicion.
Because she
that's the
finds
case.
her dress in his bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they also just, I'm sure there's a stain there.
Oh, yeah.
100%. And that room's going to smell. It's going to smell like something happened. Something happened. And Ivan's kind of old. He might also shit himself.
Oh, poor Ivan.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just only assuming. I'm just trying to figure out what it's going to be like to be old.
Well,
and what happens when you're old and have an orgasm.
Ivan had the best night of his life, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so she gets a call from the lady that Ivan was going to go out on a date with, but ended up fucking Jaime Pressly. And so, like, she realizes, oh, yeah, Violet is bad news. So she hangs up the phone, and then just a silhouette of Violet, like, blocks the screen, and, like, it's implied that she's going to.
Yeah, Mrs. B says something to the effect of, this ends now, or I'm going to end this right now, and comes at Ivy. Or sorry, at Violet. And then, Violet's blocking the screen, and then it just cuts. And, yeah, you pretty much figure, well, probably Mrs. B got. But I wish they'd shown that. Or if they're going to save it and make it a mystery for it to be a body that is found later by Joy, that's fine. But I almost would have preferred, and this is my number 4 thing that would have made this movie perfect, is if Mrs. B wasn't dead. You see her come to, and you see Mrs. B save the day. Like, maybe
Violet doesn't fuck up, though.
Yeah, but Mrs. B she's too good to be killed off screen like that.
Yeah. I mean, she's cannon fodder.
I
think I knew the moment I saw her she was cannon fodder.
I think you need to kill her on screen, though. Give us that satisfaction.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, there's okay. So next thing that happens is that now I'm doing it. Violet is ultimately jealous of Michael.
Yeah.
For having Joy.
Yeah.
And so Violet's got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And she tries to set him up with coke in his pocket, in his jacket. That doesn't get him to go away.
Yeah, she actually goes to several lengths to not have to kill him.
Just wants him gone.
Just to get him out of the picture.
Basically, she tries very hard just to get people gone.
Yeah.
But then ultimately she has to start killing people because they ain't leaving.
They ain't leaving.
And so Michael, she ends up knocking out and then ties him up and injects him with like a fuckload of heroin or something.
Yeah, it's like liquid cocaine or something. Yeah.
And it's a lot of it.
It is a lot
and so that kills him. And of course she makes it look like an accident or that he did it to himself.
Overdose or whatever, yeah.
And then but then comes old Ivan. So she's rid herself of Michael. She has seemingly wormed her way onto Ivan's worm.
Yeah.
And Michael's dad calls. So Ivan and Violet are making out, and he's like, I can't really do this with you.
And there's a moment too that's really creepy and really it's like, whoa, they went there. That implies that she has had these feelings for him since she was little.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is he admits that the reason why he is in the state that he's in with a relationship isn't that he is distraught over the death of his wife that happens shortly after Ivy and Violet were expelled with their mom. But the reason why he feels that way, or that he's been so bummed out, is because he's not been able to get over Violet's mom.
Right, who she looks very similar to.
Which she doesn't really.
But she doesn't really, but that's kind of implied.
Whatever, it's eyes. Her eyes are the
or
same.
whatever, right.
So it's like, whoa.
I know, it got real weird.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so I guess this is going to work.
Yeah. Maybe this is what she wanted, is what kind of we were thinking.
Yeah.
So this movie, it's kind of keeping us guessing a little bit.
Keeping us guessing.
Yeah.
So then, like, okay, so Michael's dad calls up Joy and it's like, hey, bad news. Michael's dead. And he's like really nonplussed by it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. But anyway, so she runs to go tell her dad that her boyfriend's dead. She opens the door to the bedroom, and what'd she see?
Oh boy. She sees, it's like you said, it's like out of Kubrick's Shining. She sees her dad in black, like bikini bottoms.
Yeah, black leather bikini. It's
bottoms.
Yeah.
Handcuffed to the bed, his arms above, handcuffed to the headboard, and
topless Violet.
Yeah, with her black boots on and a bowl whip, just standing over him over the bed. And then
whipping him.
Yeah, well, that's what's implied. I don't think you see.
No, I think she got him once.
And then looking back at Joy when she walks in the door, and it's like, oh shit, I just walked into that.
Yeah, and it's like, what?
Yeah, you could see her brain explode. It's like
we could see our brains explode too.
Yep,
it's like, whoa.
That's not what I expected to see.
This is working out. Wow.
So she bolts out of the house into the car and drives off.
And
mascara running down her face.
Yeah, she lost ostensibly her boyfriend and her father in the same day.
And a big tennis match.
Oh yeah, the big tennis match. She lost that too.
Yep. She's had a bad day.
Bad day. She so when she bolts, Ivan goes running after her. And Violet was like, well, you know.
It's hitting some of the same beats as the first.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly.
You know,
and she's like, no, don't worry about her. Well, I'll take care of you. Don't worry. And he's like, no, just get out.
Yeah.
And that's when he's basically like, just leave.
You've caused enough trouble.
In so many words.
Yes, I've made some I made some mistakes here. I've took advantage. He even think it says I should never have taken advantage of you or exploited you or something like that.
Taking advantage, but it's like,
whoa, you're the one that was seduced here.
Yeah.
But he can't even see that at this point.
And that's when she's like, oh, so
that's when she terminates him with her face.
Yeah,
yeah. She said, "I told you I would never let you turn away from me."
Yeah,
yeah. Ooh, boy,
chilling.
Yeah.
So she ultimately cuts the power, cuts the phone line, all of that.
Yeah.
Ivan starts to have a cardiac episode, which he's having sex with Jaime Pressly.
And it seems like she's taking his pills too. So he has no more pills left.
He's trying to stumble around. He's trying to like call the hospital. He's trying to drive himself to the hospital. He's trying everything. He can't get out of the garage. He can't get a phone line. He can't. And so he ultimately passes out in the car.
Yeah.
She starts the car so it can fill up and he can kill himself.
Yep.
Basically look like suicide. Look, he killed himself. And then she basically, I guess, sets up the final stage of her plan, which is for Joy.
Yeah.
So Joy gets back. She's looking through the house, and I'm like, dude, Ivan's dead, right? Like, he's been in there for a long time.
Right.
And they keep showing
cutting back to the tailpipe.
And it's like, okay, well, I guess it's still
That's
chugging
the clock.
along.
That's the clock.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
All right, so she's got to defeat Violet,
or just find her dad,
or save her dad.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we're up against right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Violet's in there, And she's like, well, let's have a little tea party like we used to have when we were kids, in so many words. And the tea party is a suicide pact. They're going to both drink and both die. So Violet doesn't want anything except for what she sees as some sort of crazy-ass eternal life with Joy.
Yeah.
That is...
Cuckoo.
That is
and that came out of nowhere, and I love it.
Yeah, there is no more insane character in this entire franchise than Violet.
Absolutely.
And it is pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good. So yeah.
So now
Joy is not having it.
No.
She kind of placates her a little bit. She's frightened. She doesn't know where her dad is. She's trying to get information. She puts on the tea dress that Violet gives her, and she sits down for tea, and they're both gonna drink this tea and die at the same time. It's like some Jim Jones shit.
Yeah.
And Joy, instead of drinking, throws the tea into Violet's face and runs off.
And this part is another great line by Jaime Pressly. She's like, well, we were going to do this the easy way, but I guess we'll just have to do it your way.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, she is full off her rocker.
Yeah.
Like, she's not just falling out of her rocker. She's rolled away from the rocker, and the rocker exploded. There's no getting back on that rocker. They fight, and ultimately, Joy... Joy has taken the upper hand with the falling, like basically Violet's falling backwards almost down the stairs. Joy's trying to hold on to her by her pearl necklace.
Oh, yeah.
Which
it's
was
Chekhov's pearl necklace. Yeah.
We see the pearl necklace earlier.
Yeah.
Also, I'm betting that whenever she gets pages from guys that want her services, a pearl necklace will cost you extra.
That will cost you extra.
We're gonna talk about what you're wanting, what
you're
you're ordering from the menu.
We are not talking about what I'm going to order from the menu. No, sir. No, sir.
You were asking what her number was.
I was.
I was like, dude, you better have because everything you want is going to cost extra.
Yeah. And it will.
It will.
But I'm not giving you my order.
Okay, fine. I mean, like I said, I'm just going to take the basic price level for Alyssa Milano and see where it goes from there.
Think you can always add more, right? I was like, well, maybe I want a little bit. Maybe I'll like a little bit of that. Here's an extra 50.
Yeah.
This is kind of a bad place.
Yeah. Anyway, we told you it was going to get weird this month. I mean, anyway, so the pearl necklace breaks, of course, because that's what pearl necklaces do.
Right. They're very dramatic.
Of course. And so she's tumbling down the stairs with the pearls and lands at the bottom of the stairs. I'm like, she's not dead.
Right.
No way
she's dead.
Joy still can't find Ivan, but she just leaves. And credits.
She steps over Violet's body, walks out the front door, roll credits.
Yeah.
So no comeback by the killer, and Ivan is just dead, I guess.
Yeah.
He's not discovered. He's dead in the garage of murder by
Murder by poison ivy.
Murder by poison ivy. Yep. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe. Yeah, I
couldn't
either.
Did they run out of? What? How did they not?
How do they not save the dad?
They kept building it up, oh, you got to beat the clock. You got to go save him before it's too late. And she doesn't even get there late. She just leaves.
She just doesn't do it.
It's phenomenal.
She figures at this point, I've killed one person today. Maybe might as well go for two.
It's flabbergasting. It really makes me believe that it was just we were supposed to get under 95 minutes and we can't have the scene, so fuck it. But I kind of like it this way.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a much more interesting ending.
A dark ending.
That is a much more dark and interesting ending than her finding her dad and rescuing him just in time and hugging him and crying in his arms and all of that.
Now, although it kind of matches that weird dark ending of the first one, where there's no real resolution. Yeah. Sylvie and her dad, there's no resolution to Dad, I just saw your bare ass plowing my friend.
Right.
A. B. Am I in trouble? Am I going to go to jail for this?
Right, yeah.
It's just, I still miss her. That's kind of weird and dark. There's
very
no
weird and dark.
resolution.
It's very weird and
There's
dark.
no resolution there.
No.
Second,
I still think about her sometimes.
I bet all the time.
All the time.
Second one ends with, I love you and
I love
everything's happy.
you. Yay.
Okay. Third,
You're going to be my
Dad is
abusive
dead.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
And third, Dad is dead. She doesn't know it, but she
Doesn't seem to care to look.
But she leaves in apparent triumph.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre ending.
She won for losing.
Yeah, she has a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
something else.
It is really kind of turned that on its head there. Those last 20 minutes, that last reel of the movie was wowzers. What business?
It was that's a really fun movie though. I really had a lot of fun with that.
It's fun. I guess it's the best movie of the series so far. But to me, it's 1 and 3 are perfect compliments because they do. They are supposedly sisters, I guess. But also, there is difference in how they're playing about their manipulations and their machinations to get their way.
Yeah.
But Lily will always have my heart.
And but who knew? In my opinion, I think Jaime Pressly puts in the best performance of the 3. I really think that
it's very, very.
She's the most comfortable in the role, I think, and
broader.
uses everything that she has at her disposal to the benefit of the movie. Yeah.
It's broader, but that doesn't mean that it's broad in the bad sense.
No, not at all.
It's hey, whatever you've got, can you give me 10% more?
Yeah. It's good. I enjoyed it. That's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
The new Seduction.
Hey, we don't know if she's dead. I don't think she is. I
I agree.
I think Poison Ivy 5, Violet's Revenge.
There is absolutely
Violet.
no reason why you couldn't make a direct sequel to that movie.
Poison Ivy 5, Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet, yes.
They fixed her.
Yes.
They repaired her.
Let's see if Jaime Pressly is interested in reprising her role as Violet.
Why not, man?
Why not? I think it'd be.
I want to see it.
It could be gangbusters, and I guarantee you.
You'll watch it.
I will watch it, and I'll also make sure that it has an exploding oxygen tank.
That's how she actually finally dies, because now she's like a Terminator. Ivy.
Yeah, and they have to
Ultraviolet.
smile, you bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I like it. Well, all right. We got one more to go.
We do.
One last Poison Ivy. And this time, there's lots of Ivies.
Oh,
It's
really?
a secret society of Ivies.
Oh, my God. Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, this should be interesting.
It's surprisingly interesting, yes.
Poison Ivy 4. What's this
Secret
called?
Society.
Secret Society.
Yes, that's it. So until next week, Facebook, Twitter at Film Seizure, filmseizure.com, Apple Podcast, Google Play Podcast, or Google Play Music Podcast, whatever it is. Did I say iTunes or Apple Podcast?
You said Apple, but that is also the iPod.
Yes.
Apple. What? iTunes.
iTunes. It might be. It might be Apple.
I like the YouTubes. We're on
We're on the YouTube. We upload our episodes there. We also have Spotify and TuneIn, so you can follow us in several different places.
Yes, you can.
So we're gonna wrap up sexy September before next month getting real pissy about shit.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be really upset about next month.
We might not make it.
But we'll talk about that next week. So until next week, when we enter the secret society of Ivies, I am Jeff Arbuckle.
I am Jason Oliver, and you have been listening to Film Seizure.
Bye.